everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let me make sure everybody has a chance to get on in the room because I do not want you guys to miss any of this. So let me kind of give y'all another additional 30 seconds to get yourselves in this door. How about that? Okay, I was nice. What's going on, everyone? I am back. I'm not going to start the show just yet. Like I said, I'm going to be cordial this time because I know some of y'all are running late. Y'all have been blowing up my inbox saying, oh my God, we're so glad you're back. So where you at? Huh? Where y'all at? Listen, let's get this show on the road because I know time is money, and just like money is precious to a lot of us. So, are you ready? Because I'm ready. This is like riding a bike, right? Once you've done it before, you can get back on there and continue to ride, right? All right, let's ride this bike. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. I am Kimberly Collins, the Educated Natural, your humble host, welcoming you to another exciting episode of Sown and Rooted. To my new subscribers, to my new followers, to my new sowers, thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you have decided to be right here with me, Kimberly Collins, the Educated Natural, and I do not take that for granted. I'm truly excited and truly blessed by you being here supporting the show. To my ride or die, my OGs out there who've been riding with me since 2013. Oh yeah, we've been here for a minute. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking on a sister while I was MIA. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I pray that God continues to bless and keep and protect every single one of you. Today's show is an exciting one. If you've been following me over the last month or so on social media, especially on YouTube, you already know I've shifted to show you all different business principles that entrepreneurs must pay attention to. So if you are a female entrepreneur, this particular show was designed with you in mind. As you already know, the title of today's show is The Business Growth Principles for female entrepreneurs. I'll say that again. Business growth principles for female entrepreneurs. Now, males, don't get upset with me because these principles apply to you as well. It's just that I'm a woman and I like to talk to my ladies because if you haven't noticed or not, or taken notice of, if you looked at the Olympics this year, you saw that women, we are doing it by ourselves. And so I decided to help you go a little bit further, dig a little bit deeper, because I want you to succeed in everything that you do. So let's get this thing started. Business principle growth hack for female entrepreneurs. Number one. These are in no particular order, but these are things we all, including myself, have to pay attention to. I'm referring to confidence. Oh yes, that big C word, confidence. Business growth principle number one for female entrepreneurs deals with confidence. What is confidence, Kim? Basically, it's you having a firm trust in yourself. That means it doesn't matter which industry you are in. It doesn't matter how long you've been in that industry. It definitely doesn't matter how many other people are operating in that same industry. You will always bet on you. Why? Because you are confident in yourself. Listen, as an entrepreneur, definitely as a woman, we have to show up, not half-stepping. Meaning, from the moment you wake up, you have to go to the mirror And you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And I don't care how you do it or which way you do it. If you start off with prayer, pray. If you start off with affirmations, do those. But whatever you do, before you leave your humble abode called your home, be confident the moment your feet strike ground. And here is why. Because everyone that's going to see you needs to know that you are betting on you. You know who you are. You know what your purpose is. You know about your products and services. Nothing is more disheartening than to be in a room with fellow female entrepreneurs just to see them shy, just to see them say things like, I'm afraid to talk to people. I'm afraid of public speaking. Oh, no, my dear. In this season of your life, in this stage of the game, as a woman, you have to show up confidently. You have to know your products like the back of your hand. We always hear about elevator speeches. You need to have that like the back of your eyelids. When someone says, what do you do for a living? You should be able to hit that thing like you hit the floor every morning. You should be able to tell people in a very short sentence what it is you, my dear, bring to the table. You see, the confidence that I exude attracts a lot of people. It's not something that I step into one day and said, you know what, I'm going to be this way. No, I came from a household where you had to show and prove who you were. I came from an environment where you couldn't show up soft. You had to wear your confidence on your sleeve because people will try you where I come from. And the same thing happens this day and age. When you enter a room, whether it's a conference, an event, a seminar, any type of gathering, people are sizing you up. They are looking for the weakest link. Don't give them that excuse. Show up confidently. Say, I know who I am. I've done the research. I've formulated my products from my heart. And I know that my products can stand up against some of the biggest companies in this industry. Do you think Fortune 500 companies just woke up one day and became Fortune 500 companies? No. The CEOs, the owners, and their team put their smart heads together and formulated a product that people like you and I would fling to. This is what separates premium products from baseline products. It's the whole package. I guarantee you, if you would ask any of the Fortune 500 company CEOs about their products, they probably have a plethora of products that you and I would only dream of, but they can tell you about them without even blinking, to the point where you'll think, well, I've never had your products, but just based on talking to you, I have to go and buy them. This is the feedback you and I dream of. But in order to receive that type of feedback, in order to make our very next sale, especially if you're at a conference or an event or some type of setting such as that, you have to walk in there, honey, like you own the place. You have to pretty much walk in there with your head held high, your shoulders squared, and strut like you own the place. Because it's that level of confidence that's going to draw people to you. Why is this important? You're probably asking. It's important because I've noticed over the last year, since I've been pretty silent, probably the last two, but definitely the last year, I've taken the time, sat back, and watched everyone in various industries. I've watched what lawyers do because I know as an entrepreneur, at some point, I'm going to need legal advice. So I watched how legal people operate. Then I went and watched how t-shirt custom creators operate. Then I went and paid close attention how social media people operate, especially those that we all follow on social media platforms. I looked and see how they operate. What is it that they're doing? How are they doing? What is it that people are buying from them and why? You have to take a moment and step back, because when you're in it and you're working hard in your industry, it's hard to see. So I thank God that I was smart enough to take a step back and just watch, not comment, not say anything, not release anything, just watch. Why? Because I was educating my own self based on what's happening now. A lot of people are just jumping on trends and throwing stuff at the wall to see what would stick. That's not what confident people do. We take the time and research and we see what's happening now in the marketplace. We watch trends. We see what is everybody talking about. What has everybody in such an uproar? Because when you go to step out there in your select industry, you are confident enough to know that you have done your due diligence to the point where you know your products have a solid leg to stand on. This all boils down to confidence, because if you're not confident, people can read it a mile away. If you're hiding something, people can read it a mile away. So I always tell my female entrepreneurs this business growth principle, and that is whatever you do, be confident in what it is that you do. Don't let anybody else deter that. Don't let anybody try to turn you around. Don't let anybody try to crush your confidence, especially if they're in the same industry as you. Because the more people they can get rid of because of a lack of confidence, the better they get to look. And that's not what you want, especially if you want to grow as an entrepreneur. So ladies, remember, the first thing we need to work on is our confidence. And I'm spending a lot of time here because within the last 24 hours, I've reached out to some great minds in various industries. There's something I'm working on within the next 2 or 3 months. And you'll see the first glimpse of it next month in September. But I had to reach out to people that I knew so that I could connect with people that they knew in these particular industries. But it was completely disheartening when I started to receive messages from women in these high public industries, meaning they work with people all the time. When I invited them onto the show, at first it was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes. But then when I said it's a public live streaming show that then goes into podcasting and radio, they got real skittish. And as a woman, I couldn't believe it because I'm like, wait a minute, you work with people all the time. Your confidence has to be built, because if you want to get to the next level in whatever industry you are in, you're going to have to deal with other people. And you're going to have to be confident enough in yourself, in everything about you, everything you're trying to sell, everything you're trying to promote, everything you're trying to market. You're going to have to be confident enough in it to where nobody can doubt you or whatever you bring to the table. But it's all based on how you show up. If you show up weak, they're going to conclude that whatever it is you're bringing to the table is just as weak as you are. You can't do that. If you want to progress in your industry, if you want to be taken seriously in your industry, you have to show up confidently, ladies. You can't let a camera stop you from getting to your next level. You can't let public speaking stop you from getting to your next level. So trust me, the moment I personally had to build my own confidence was the moment that people started to come to me. I no longer had to chase people. Once I showed up, they already knew what Kimberly Collins, the educated natural, was about. But if I showed up and I was weak and I was skittish and I'm shaking and I'm stuttering over my words, it would give people an automatic perception of me. And if there's one thing about me, and anybody that can tell you that knows me personally, Kim shows up in her power and in her authority. And this is what I want you to know. Your confidence will help you express that. You won't even have to say it. The moment you show up, people already know by the way you walk, by the way you carry yourself. You're confident. You're not arrogant. There's a difference. There's a difference in the two definitions of those two words, arrogance and confidence. You are confident, meaning I know me and I know what I bring to the table. All right. So if you're going to do anything in this new season of your life where God is leading you, be confident in what you do, who you are, and what you bring to the table. All right. So that's the first thing. We're moving on. Number 2, for those of you that are looking for business principles for growth, as a female entrepreneur, the second thing I want you to do, you can grab a pen and paper and write this down, but you need to start building your email list. I know some people out there will say, you can do that later. That's not a big deal. Trust me, I've been quiet long enough. I've done it both ways. I've tried to build my business without an email list. I've built my business with an email list. There is value, high value in your email list. I'm going to tell you why. Because whether you're on a public sector like now, like I am, doing a podcast, doing a radio show, doing live streaming shows on YouTube or Facebook or wherever else you can be found, whether or not you are there doesn't really matter if you have a strong enough email list. I learned from someone that I follow on social media, when Facebook went down a time, or when another live streaming platform went away, if they had a solid email list, they wouldn't have lost all of those people that they had connected to. But when those things went down, they did not have access to their buyers, to their customers, because they never collected their names and email addresses at least. So when they were disconnected and they lost money. But if you have an email list, you can start it off with 1 or 2 people. At least you can be in direct contact with those 1 or 2 people. How? It doesn't matter which email list client you use. You can use MailChimp. You can use GetResponse. You can use whatever you want. That email client gives you the opportunity to download your list. Once you have those names in hand, you can save them to your computer, your hard drive, or wherever you save your important files. Save those names, and lo and behold, when you release a new product, when you offer a new service, you can pull up that list and email those individuals that may or may not be following you on social media. You cannot depend 100% on social media. I've seen too many things come and go. So trust me, build your email list. Is a great way to stay in contact with your supporters and buyers, because these are the ones you want to become repeat buyers, because you're going to constantly grow throughout these seasons of your life, and you want to know the people that's already bought from you. The easiest way to do that is to ensure you have a strong, solid email list. So I don't care what anybody says, build your email list. I can't say that enough. Trust me, it has saved me. Even with this show, it has saved me, because when I moved my name, I changed my name and I rebranded and I did all that stuff, I had people that were previously on my show that were not active on their Facebook pages, that certainly wasn't active on Instagram, but because I had their name and email, I was able to reach back out to them. So it was great. It worked out for me and it worked out for them, because I got a chance to learn that some of them have now offering other products and services since they were on the show. So now if they come back, we have something new to talk about and update you guys on some of your favorite audience and audience members, as well as guests here on the show. So it's been great. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have an email list. So take it from me, keep an email list and build it and check it. Okay. All right, moving on. The next thing I want you to understand when it comes to your business growth principles for female entrepreneurs, and this could be a big one for a lot of you, you have to build your brand awareness. Yes, indeed. Your brand, for some of you, is just as important as your name. Think about it. Think about everything that you have in your possession, everything in your home, even down to your cell phone. The brand awareness of those products is what keeps Apple, Apple. It's what keeps Google, Google. It's what keeps Samsung, Samsung. Because they know everybody that purchases their products, by the way it looks, by the way it functions, by the way it feels, they know this is an Apple phone. They know this is a Samsung. They know this is a OneNote, so on and so forth. Even down to our washing detergent. You know, if you've used more than one washing detergent, which one you love, which one you like, which one does what you expect it to do because of its brand awareness. Here is something I need everybody to do, especially female entrepreneurs. If you have a brand, you have your logo, you have your name, you have all your ducks in a row. Everywhere the people in your local area look, everywhere you go, every time they see you, they should know you by your brand. Why? Because it's like hot sauce. You put it on everything. You put it on a hat if you wear hats. If you wear t-shirts, it's on your t-shirt. If you wear jeans, it's down the leg of your jeans. If you have on a bracelet, it's on your bracelet. If you travel, it's on your luggage. Everywhere they look, they should see your brand because you rock it everywhere you go. You're like a walking billboard. But if you are not wearing your own stuff as much as some of y'all wear these name brand companies, you're wrong. You are hurting your brand awareness. You have to come up with strategic methods in order for people to know when they see your brand on someone else's back, they know it's you. Just like when I see somebody out and I'm out and about and I'm shopping, I'm doing whatever, I know they have an Apple phone by the way it looks, by the ringtones that's on it, by the abilities that that phone can do. Because I've had an Apple phone before, I've had an iPhone before. I know these things, and so do you. You can even tell in the messenger. If somebody is messaging you and you have an Android phone, you know exactly when it's somebody with an iPhone because of the things that that phone can do that maybe your phone can't do. It's all about brand awareness. When you put on your favorite pair of jeans, come on, ladies, and those jeans fit you perfectly, and that particular brand of jean become your jeans of choice, that's brand awareness. You know, as soon as you put it on, these are going to fit me just the way I want it to. That's the way your personal brand has to be to everyone else. If you want to be in that club of Fortune 500 companies, you have to operate as if you're one. I guarantee you, if you walk up to Louis Vuitton and you ask them what you got on, it's probably their own brand. Hardly ever, probably in case they're supporting someone else, maybe they're friends, they may wear somebody else's stuff, but most of the times they wear their own stuff. Why aren't you doing the same? Why aren't you creating products that will make you as happy and your customers as happy as you're making the brands that you're wearing? Your stuff should be branded from the top of you to the bottom of you. If you know you wear sunglasses, have somebody put your logo, your name on those sunglasses. If you know that you want to make shoes, have your name, logo, whatever you need, your favorite saying, your tagline on your shoes. Put it on your luggage. But wherever you go, you should be building your brand awareness, hands down. If you can sit there and try to impress people on social media with your bags, then how about your name be on it versus someone else's? Build your brand awareness, because if it looks good and it feels good and people see you rocking it, they're going to ask you about it. And that's what you want as a female entrepreneur. Your brand should attract people to you. You shouldn't have to chase people down, say, hey, wear my shirt. Hey, wear my hat. No, you shouldn't have to do any of that. In order to grow your brand awareness, you got to rock it first. You have to shout your brand louder than anyone else. That's how you're going to build your brand awareness. Don't wait for someone else to do it. I've heard a lot of horror stories from people saying, my family's not supporting me. My family's not doing this. My friends aren't doing that. I support them. No more of that. In order to grow your business, my fellow female entrepreneur, you have to shout your brand louder than anybody else. Because you're the leader. You're the head of the company. You're the face of the brand. Rock it on everything you do. I don't care if it's a pen or a pencil. Rock your brand. Okay? I think I made that pretty clear. Let's move on. The next thing we have to be aware of as female entrepreneurs that are looking to grow our businesses through these principles We have to build our negotiating skills. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Build your negotiating skills. In other words, know your worth. If you take the time to build a product or offer a class, a course, any type of service, it takes time, right? It doesn't just happen overnight in certain incidences. You have to get up, you have to formulate a plan, you have to draw out your blueprint, you have to do all of these things in order to make that thing come from in your mind to an actual product or service for people. That takes time. Okay, so now you've put in the time, you've put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Now you have this product that you want to market to everyone else so that they can buy it. Why? Because you're a business owner. And businesses, in order to be called a business and not a hobby, you have to make a profit. Point blank. You have to sell it. People have to buy it. Pretty simple, right? So now you have this product and you're thinking, well, goodness, what am I going to sell it for? Well, that's where your negotiating skills come into play. All you have to do is calculate your labor, the products it took for you to make that product. If you have to go out and get ink, if you have to go get t-shirts, shoes, sewing needles, thread, whatever. You calculate all those costs. You add up all those costs. And then you go and you take a step back and you look at the other people in your industry. See what they're pricing their items for. If it's the same thing, if they're doing hats and you're doing hats, how much they charging for their hats? You can even be slick and call your local print shop if you're in customs. Call your local print shop and see how much they charge for that hat. That'll give you an idea about your local area. If you want to know about global markets, then do your research on the internet and see how much they're charging for their stuff. And then put your price somewhere in that range, because now you're cooking in the right degrees. If you try to go high, you could run into a problem. There are a lot of influencers out there that are selling a lot of different products, but here is where we sometimes mess up. We'll look at these influencers, we'll do the same type of product that they are doing or something similar. If they're doing t-shirts, you do t-shirts. They're doing socks, you do socks. And you put it up on your Etsy shop, your website, or wherever, and you price it the same price or higher, or maybe just a few cents lower than they are. But here is something you'll notice. Their products will be selling like hotcakes, and your product will be sitting there, and you'll be scratching your head thinking, but my stuff is just as good as theirs. What's the problem here? What you failed to realize is that these influencers have taken years to build up a following. Don't believe me? Check their social media. That's all the proof you need. They build their following. And if you haven't built a following in the same metrics as they have, you could be shooting yourself in the foot. I have done it. I have seen it. I thought, just like many of you, my stuff is just as good as theirs, if not better. So I'm going to price mine high like theirs and get crickets as a result. That is not what you want to do. You have to look at those that are supporting you, not the ones that say they're going to support you. Don't fall for that trick, but the ones that are actually financially supporting you. That's going to give you a clear indication about your prices. Don't get sucked into this premium prices stuff that's going around that a lot of these gurus are telling you, oh, premium prices, oh, premium prices. They will have you with a bunch of inventory that you can't sell while they're over there selling their stuff because they have 50 million followers. You only have 100. Let's be clear. And only about 10 of them are buying anything from you. So know your numbers, because when you know your numbers, you're able to negotiate your price. That way, when you put that shirt on, or you put it out there on Etsy, or you put it on your website and it's 20 whatever dollars, and let's say you $28, your shirts are $28. And people will say, why your shirt's $28? It's just one color on the front. You can tell them, well, my shirts aren't gilded. My shirts are whatever premium shirt that's out there. My shirts are ring spun cotton. My shirts are made with this and that. And you can give them the complete breakdown of your shirt to tell people my shirt is a premium shirt, so it comes at a premium price. If you're going to play the premium game, you have the premium products to support the game. You can't sell a $30 hoodie knowing that that hoodie feels like sandpaper, because you may get one sale and it may be your last sale because you didn't do your due diligence and figure out the key function and feel of the garment you're giving out there to people. So you could be shooting yourself in the foot. So you have to be able to negotiate your price with people that's going to give you that pushback based on whatever price you set. You have to know the value of what it is you're trying to get in the hands of customers. If you're not able to back up your price, you're not going to grow. Your sales will be short-lived, if lived at all. So when you're standing at a gathering, at an event, at a conference, and someone says, wow, that's kind of pricey, you're able to right then negotiate your price because you know the value of what it is you're trying to give to them or sell to them. You know the value of it. So remember, know your prices, know your negotiation skills. Take the time, work on your negotiation skills, because you are going to need that, especially if you're in an industry that some people would say is oversaturated. You have to be able to stand above your competitors, especially as women. If you do not, you will get lost in the crowd and you will lose money. You'll get frustrated. You'll want to quit. You'll want to just say, this isn't for me. You'll want to rebrand. You want to do all of this stuff, which equates to starting over. And a lot of the times you don't have to start over. You just have to be confident. You have to be able to have a solid email list. You have to be able to build that brand awareness to get it out there in front of everybody that sees you. They should see your brand. And you should be able to, no matter what someone else says, negotiate your prices and products when it's compared to someone else's. It's very important. The next thing, ladies, I want you to understand is that just like confidence, you have to be willing and ready and positioned to build your businesses on purpose. Purpose is a solid foundation for any entrepreneur, male or female. If you don't know why you're doing this business in the first place, you're going to fall real quick, like a house with no foundation. That house can look real pretty. Logo looks great. Color scheme, magnificent. But when someone pushes on that house, it's going to fall right over because you don't even know why that house is standing up there in the first place. If somebody walks up to you and they say, what is this business about? You should be able to hit them. Boom, right there. They say, well, how does your business differ from such and such's business? Boom, you should hit them right there because you know the purpose of your business. You know the purpose of your products. You know the purpose of your brand. You know the purpose of what it is, why you do what you do. You know why. You have taken the time to look at your selected industry in which your business falls, and you say, this is how I'm going to show up, and this is what makes me different. It's your purpose. Because there are going to be days, long nights and early mornings, when you're going to be tired. You're going to start second guessing yourself. You're going to get hit with people that's a bunch of naysayers or negative Nancy's, and they're going to try to break your confidence. But if you are smart enough, if you are strong enough to push one more time, it's going to be your purpose foundational statement that's going to save you, because you can look back on those hard days and say, this is why I do what I do. This right here is my foundational purpose. This is what God created me to do. This is why I built this business, for this reason right here. And it doesn't matter who says what. I know what my purpose is. I know what the purpose of my business is. I know what the purpose is of everything that I do, because I started it off with a solid purpose. It's that purpose that allows you to do the other things I've mentioned. It's your purpose that allows you to show up in the face of a bunch of competitors with your head held high. It's that purpose that allows you to stand in a room full of people in the same industry confidently, not batting one single eyelash. You know why you're there. You know what you bring to the table. And no matter what nobody else thinks, you know it's a solid piece of equipment, product, or service. You know this. It's your purpose. It's what God created you for. Because you're going to face adversity. You're going to face doubters. You're going to face naysayers. Trust me, been there, done that. You're going to face people trying to steal stuff from you, saying it's theirs. You're going to face copycats. You're going to face people trying to take your brand and claim it as theirs. You're going to face people on Instagram trying to steal your pictures and claim that it's theirs. You're going to face all of that, especially in this day and age. But it's your purpose that's going to cause you to get up and say, not today, devil. You won't take this, because I have sat myself down. I know what my purpose is. I've built my brand awareness. I'm able to negotiate in front of anyone about my stuff. And there is no way I'm going to allow you or anybody else to try to snatch what I have spent my life pouring into. Not today, devil, because you know your purpose. You see, I would encourage every female entrepreneur that wants to grow their business. Start it right. Stop looking at these gurus that's going to have you broke, busted, and disgusted. Get yourself together. Learn your industry. Learn your product. Learn your service. Take a look at your competitors, your threats, your opportunities. Know your strengths and your weaknesses before you launch anything. That way, when you come out there swinging, and you're not coming out there and facing a straight on left hook or a right hook or an uppercut, because you entered wrongly. Build it solidly on purpose. Set yourself apart from the very beginning and stick to your guns. That leads me into the last thing I want to leave with you guys today in this particular session. This thing right here is something I like to call my bonus tip. You ready? Here goes. Know your limits. I know, ladies, we walk around with this S on our chest. I know we're able to have the baby, take care of the baby, carry the baby, cook for the baby, build the house, tear down the house, dig up the foundation, cut the grass. We're able to do all of these things. But listen to me. You, no matter how many times you sing the song, you are not superwoman. You have limits. You are human. So stop putting more on yourself than God has allowed. This is why so many women are coming up with so many health issues at a young age. Some of us have health issues that older people have. And you're in your 20s and 30s and you have all of these health issues because we naturally put on way too much on ourselves. When God is telling me to tell you in this season of your business, it's okay to tell yourself and others no. No is an answer. You don't always have to say yes. It's okay to say, you know what? My plate is full. I can't do anything else. I would love to help you, but my plate is full. It is okay, sisters, to pass that buck to someone else. It is okay, because if you don't, you're going to fall into depression. You're going to hit the wall of burnout. You're going to just fall over with an illness that shouldn't have been yours in the first place, because you never learned that you have a limit. We do a lot of things, ladies, especially when you encompass business on top of just regular life things that we go through. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I have reached my maximum capacity, but I'm going to stop right here. One key way I would encourage female entrepreneurs to do this is by diving headfirst into self-care. You have to. Your health and wellness means the world to your family, to those that support you, to those that are watching you. You have to take a step back and take care of you before you try to take care of everyone else. Even if your self-care is just going down to the local store and getting yourself an ice cream cone. Even if it's just going to a local restaurant and grabbing you a hoagie, a hot dog, a burger and fries. Just take that moment just to woosah. But you cannot continue to push, because our bodies can only take so much. A lot of you are heavy. And I'm not talking about because of your weight, your physical weight. I'm talking about you're heavy. When you get up in the morning, it's a struggle. When you go throughout your day, it's a struggle. It's because you have taken on too much. Even a sponge that's designed to soak up liquids, at some point, that sponge will start to leak. Why? Because it's reached its maximum capacity. You're not a sponge. But some of us operate as if we are. And that comes the time when we start leaking. We start forgetting stuff. Oh my goodness, I had an order that was due. I hadn't even started on it. How did I forget that? Your spouse tells you something and you completely forget it. And it was something important. It's because you've got too many things on you. That's why you can't move. That's why it seems like everybody else is running circles around you. And you're thinking, well, I'm showing up, but how are you showing up? If you're showing up weighed down, it's hard to move when you're weighed down. It's like basketball. I don't know if you've ever seen basketball players. Maybe some of you have played basketball. When you're doing conditioning training, they're pushing your body to this maximum capacity. It's maximum limit. They're making you go this way. They're making you go that way. They're making you jump up, down, on the ground. Like you're doing all kind of stuff. You're conditioning your body. But what's happening is a lot of us aren't doing that. We're getting up and we're just going. But your body hasn't been conditioned for that level of stress. And so you're trying to keep up with the gurus that you're following on social media, and you haven't been conditioned to do so. We all at times have to take that woosah moment. We all have to take that minute and just back up. Say, wait a minute, give me some room. We all under this whole 6 feet thing. Give me 6 feet. Don't nobody call me. Don't nobody ask me for nothing. I have changed my name so you can't even call me. Turn your phone off. Go, if you live near a beach, you are blessed. Go sit near the water. Put your feet in the water and in the sand. Just go to a place where nobody knows your name. Just to get some self-care in there. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. But if every hour of that day you are working, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, and you're traveling here, and you're traveling there, and you're supporting this one, and you're supporting that one, you're doing a little too much. And I'm here to tell you, my sisters, my fellow female entrepreneurs, you are doing the most. And I don't want to receive another call from someone that I support or supports me, or we support each other, that they're in the hospital because of an illness. Because some of you that I follow every day, I'm looking at the computer, I'm getting notification, you're live. I'm like, do they sleep? Do they eat? Why are they live again? They were just live 5 minutes ago. They just ended one live and went right back into another one. Breathe. Trust me, your audience will be there. But you can show up, but you don't have to show up every single hour of the day. You have a family that needs your attention. You have children that need your attention. You have a spouse that needs your attention. You have neighbors that you can even go out there, have a cup of coffee with somebody. 6 feet distance with your mask on, I'm just saying. Just be safe. But you have to work on self. It's just like people say, like in an airplane, they always give out those instructions for safety. Put your mask on first. Well, I'm here today to tell you, take care of you first. It's okay to say no. Know your limit. You may not be able to pull a 24-hour shift or do a 24-hour live. That may not be in you. You have too many things to do. But don't feel bad because you're not able to do that and someone else is. Their life is not your life, and your life is not their life. We all have individual lives and responsibilities. And I'm telling you, I had to learn this. It is okay to say no, because during the season of my own personal life, when I didn't say no, I was trying to be everything for everybody except for myself. I fell sick and I almost died. And I'm not playing. I'm serious. So don't follow that example. Know your limits. Know when to stop. Know when to go. Because see, some of y'all have stopped a little too long and God has given you the green light. And if you've ever been behind a car that has the green light and you're ready to go and they're sitting there playing with their hand or something or messing with their radio, you're like, will you go and get out the way? You're on the opposite side of the pendulum. You need to go. You need to get started. You hadn't even come close to your limit because you haven't did anything. So get up and go. Your audience is looking for you. That was what happened to me. Whenever my former coach said, excuse me, KC10, where are you? Excuse me, the educated natural, what are you doing? And why? You've been quiet too long. Why isn't your show on air? What's going on with you? And you know what? I realized I had more excuses than a thermometer has degrees. And guess what? None of them amounted to anything. So I'm telling you from personal experience, ladies, take heed to these business growth principles for female entrepreneurs. If you don't remember anything else I have said, take care of yourself first. Build businesses on purpose. Build your email list. Build your brand awareness. Know how to negotiate your products and services when it comes to price and the actual item. And my friends, you will be on your way to business growth. That's all I wanted to share with you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you those that have caught me live. Thank you for being here. These videos will be coming down, maybe, because I want to make sure I get them on the podcast platforms by tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is great to be back with you. Thank you for all the support, all the great comments. Thank you guys so much. If you ever need to reach me, whether it's for a guest appearance, whether it's for business things, or whatever the case may be, you can always visit my website at www.sownonpurpose.com. Or if you are a social media-ite like I am, and you want to connect with me on social media, on Facebook, visit my business page at Sown on Purpose. If you're on Instagram, do a search for The Educated Natural. If you're on Twitter, do a search for The EDU Natural. And if you're on YouTube, just do a search for The Educated Natural. As you can see, pretty branded in those areas, huh? Listen, thank you guys for joining me today. I will see you guys next Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I am Kimberly Collins, The Educated Natural. This has been Sown and Rooted, where we get to the heart of the matter. Until the next time, remember, stay sown, always be sown. No matter what, be sown in something, in good ground at least. Be sown, be rooted, and above all, be blessed.